Thank you, Premier. You made a history.
Thank you.
Premier, welcome to the Naples.
Hey, how are you?
Your steady presence all the time. Thank you. Yeah. Always smile.
Always. Good job. Thank you so much. It's easy for all people. Yeah.
ਬੋਲੋ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। ਅਰਦਾਸ ਇੱਕ ਓਂਕਾਰ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸ੍ਰੀ ਭਗਵਤੀ ਜੀ ਸਹਾਏ। ਵਾਰ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਭਗਵਤੀ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀ 10ਵੀਂ। ਪ੍ਰਥਮ ਭਗਵਤੀ ਸਿਮਰ ਕੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਲਈ ਧਿਆਏ। ਫੇਰ ਅੰਗਤ ਗੁਰ ਤੇ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਰਾਮਦਾਸੈ ਹੋਈ ਸਹਾਏ। ਅਰਜਨ ਹਰ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਾਓ। ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਹਰਿ ਰਾਏ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਹਰਿ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਆਈਐ। ਜਿਸ ਡਿਠੇ ਸਭ ਦੁਖ ਜਾਏ। ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਸਿਮਰਿਆ ਘਰ ਨਾਉਨ ਦਿਆਵੈ ਤਾਏ। ਸਭ ਥਾਈ ਹੋਈ ਸਹਾਏ। 10ਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਭ ਥਾਈ ਹੋਈ ਸਹਾਏ। 10 ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀਆਂ ਕੀ ਜੋਤ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਕੇ ਪਾਠ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦੀਦਾਰ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਧਰ ਕੇ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਬੋਲੋ ਜੀ। ਪੰਜਾਂ ਪਿਆਰਿਆਂ ਚੌਹਾਂ ਸਾਹਿਬਜ਼ਾਦਿਆਂ 40 ਮੁਕਤਿਆਂ ਹੱਠੀਆਂ ਜਪੀਆਂ ਤਪੀਆਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਿਆ ਵੰਡ ਕੇ ਛਕਿਆ ਦੇਖ ਚਲਾਈ ਤੇਗ ਵਾਹੀ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਅੰਡਿਠ ਕੀਤਾ। ਤਿਨਾਂ ਪਿਆਰਿਆਂ ਸਚਿਆਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਕਮਾਈ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਧਰ ਕੇ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਬੋਲੋ ਜੀ। ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਸਿੰਘਣੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਧਰਮ ਹੇਤ ਸੀਸ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਬੰਦ ਬੰਦ ਘਟਾਏ ਚਰਖੜੀਆਂ ਚੜੇ ਆਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਤਨ ਚਰਾਏ ਖੋਪਰੀਆਂ ਲਵਾਈਆਂ। ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਲਈ ਕੁਰਬਾਨੀਆਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਧਰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਾਰਿਆ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਕੇਸਾਂ ਸਵਾਸਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਨਿਭਾਈ। ਤਿਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਕਮਾਈ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਧਰ ਕੇ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਬੋਲੋ ਜੀ। ਪੰਜਾਂ ਤਖਤਾਂ ਸਰਬ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਧਰ ਕੇ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਬੋਲੋ ਜੀ। ਪ੍ਰਥਮੇ ਸਰਬੱਤ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਸਰਬੱਤ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਕੋ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਨਾਮ ਚਿਤਾਵੈ ਚਿਤਿਆਵਨ ਕਾ ਸਦਕਾ ਸਰਬ ਸੁਖ ਹੋਵੈ। ਜਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤਹਾਂ ਤਹਾਂ ਰਛਿਆ ਰਹਿ ਦੇਖ ਤੇਗ ਫਤਿਹ ਬਿਰਦ ਕੀ ਪੈਚ ਪੰਥ ਕੀ ਜੀ। ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਸਹਾਏ। ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਕੇ ਬੋਲ ਬਾਲੇ ਬੋਲੋ ਜੀ। ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦਾਨ ਕੇਸ ਦਾਨ ਰਹਿ ਦਾਨ ਵਿਵੇਕ ਦਾਨ ਵਿਸਾਹੋ ਦਾਨ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਦਾਨ ਦਾਨਾ ਸਿਰਦਾਨ ਨਾਮਦਾਨ। ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ ਚੌਕੀਆਂ ਝੰਡੇ ਬੁੰਗੇ ਜੁਗੋ ਜੋਗ ਅਟਲ ਧਰਮ ਕਾ ਜੈਕਾਰ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਬੋਲੋ ਜੀ। ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਨ ਨੀਵਾਂ ਮਤ ਉੱਚੀ ਮਤ ਪਾਦਾ ਰੱਖ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀਓ। ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੰਥ ਦੇ ਸਦਾ ਸਹਾਈ ਦਾ ਤਾਰ ਜੀਓ। ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਨਨਕਾਣਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੇ ਹੋ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਗੁਰਧਾਵਾਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਪੰਥ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਛੋੜਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਤਿਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਖੁੱਲੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦੀਦਾਰ ਸੇਵਾ ਸੰਭਾਲ ਦਾ ਦਾਨ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ। ਨੇ ਮਾਣਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਣ ਨੇ ਤਾਣਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਤਾਣ ਨੇ ਓਟਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਓਟ ਨੇ ਆਸਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਆਸਰੇ ਨੇ ਗਤਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਗਤ ਨੇ ਪਤਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਪਤ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਅਪਾਰ 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 ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀ ਆਫ ਮੈਨੀਟੋਬਾ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਅਤੇ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਦੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨ ਕਰਦਿਆਂ ਆਇਆ ਮੈਨੀਟੋਬਾ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀਓ ਮੋਲਾਰਡ ਰੋਡ ਜੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸੰਪੂਰਨਤਾ ਹੋਈ ਅੱਜ ਜੀ। ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀਓ ਅਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੌਰਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀਓ ਮੈਨੀਟੋਬਾ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਾਨਾ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਮੈਨੀਟੋਬਾ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਸਿਰ ਤੇ ਮਿਹਰ ਭਰਿਆ ਹੱਥ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਕਾਮਯਾਬੀਆਂ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀਆਂ ਕਲਾ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਦਿਨ ਦੁਗਣੀ ਰਾਤ ਚੌਗਣੀ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਨੀ ਐਸੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਮਿਹਰਾਂ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਜੀਓ। ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਾਨਾ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਅਰਦਾਸਾਂ ਬੇਨਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਅਰਦਾਸ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੋ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਜੀ ਮਿਹਰਾਂ ਕਰੋ ਸਮੂਹ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਅਰਦਾਸਾਂ ਬੇਨਤੀਆਂ ਦਰ ਤੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਜੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਸਹੀ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਮੇਲੋ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਚਿਤਾਵੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਪਾਣੇ ਸਰਬੱਤ ਦਾ ਭਲਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਬੋਲੇ ਸੋ ਨਿਹਾਲ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
I believe that is the first time a Manitoba press conference has ever begun with an ardas. ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਲੋਂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Good morning everyone. My name is Jasdeep Devgan. I am the MLA for McPhilips. Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we are gathered on the territory, the Anishinaabe, the Inuit, the Dene, the Dakota, the Inuit, the Anishinaabe, and the Red River Métis. This press conference has been a long time waiting. So long that we've been waiting more than my entire life for this very day. We are gathered here at the Sikh Society of Manitoba for a very important day. The grand opening of a upgraded and paved Mollard Road. And it is a little bit of a surreal moment for me. I have a deep connection to the Sikh Society of Manitoba. This place, Sikh Society of Manitoba, is where I got my start from. This is the foundation of anything that I consider a political career, anything that I consider a career in general today. It all started here at the Sikh Society of Manitoba. And over the years that I've been here, we all know that the one ask that this community has always had is please pave Mollard Road. And there have been many elected officials to walk through these buildings, and the ask has been the same to all of them. And for the 10 years that I was privileged to be on the board of directors here, it was the same ask. But this ask has been asked for so long. There are a lot of folks standing behind me right now, folks who've been asking for this very investment for decades now. And I want to thank you sincerely for the effort and the work you put into bringing us to where we are today. Without that tenacity and that determinants, we wouldn't be here today. So I want to thank you as well. These are members of our community, foundational members of our community, people who've been here since day one. So I'm super excited to be here today. I don't know if you can tell, but it's hard for me to contain my excitement, but I know a lot of people in this community are very excited. I've had people ask us during the last, since we've been elected, is this happening? Is this happening? Almost out of belief that this would happen. And here we are, like I said, almost surreal. It's happened. So with that said, I want to invite up our first speaker here, the man whom, because of his understanding of the importance of following through on a commitment, this has all been completed here. So please welcome Premier Wab Kanu.
Well, thank you to JD for starting us. I want to also thank the priest for opening us off in a good way. So I'll say Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. And I just want to thank the community here at the Sikh Society of Manitoba for coming out today for what is a wonderful occasion, a great milestone to celebrate. Mollard Road is now paved. So having a road get built like this, to see the upgrades happen to Mollard Road, it can mean many things. We're talking about safety, we're talking about enhanced infrastructure, we're talking about building the economy. But what I see happening today, and why I'm saying it's a reason for a celebration, is that we're also seeing the next evolution of the Sikh faith community here in Manitoba. We're talking about the oldest Gurdwara here in the province of Manitoba, and for years it was serviced with a gravel road. And now, because of the economic activity, because of the creativity, because of the contributions to all of Manitoba made by the Sikh faith community, we are seeing that the infrastructure and the investments of your tax dollars in the community are now coming back to build up Mollard Road and to build up the future of the community. So it's been a great project to be a part of. It's great to have wonderful partners. JD Devgan, who's our host here today, was a strong advocate for this project. Diljit Brar, who is the MLA for the boroughs, also was a very, very strong advocate. And of course, Mintu Sandhu, the Minister for Public Service Delivery, which is the Minister of getting things done, we could say. He was also very influential, as were all of our MLAs, such as Rochelle Schott and everyone else who's a part of the team. So I want to acknowledge them publicly, because it's one thing for us to promise it in the election. Then we get elected and we promise it again. Now that we're government, we're going to do it. But then it takes people while you're in government to stay on the project and make sure that the money gets out the door to make it happen. So congratulations to the MLAs and Minister for that work. I also want to acknowledge the City of Winnipeg, because we bring the funding forward, but it's the city also bringing funding and resources forward that builds the project. And so Mayor Gillingham, thank you for your good work in making this happen here today. Most of all, though, thank you to the Sikh Society of Manitoba, and thank you to the Sikh faith community here in our province, because it is you who really made this happen. It was the commitment, and here I'll paint the scene for you. We were at the Nagar Kirtan parade not too long ago, and people were coming up, and every time someone would talk to me, the amount of time waiting for the road was getting longer and longer. First people were like, politicians have been telling us for 30 years that they were going to build this, and then politicians were telling us for 35 years. And then 40 years. And so it really became clear to me that so many people had come and made promises. Probably by the time we showed up in the last election and promised to build a road, people were probably like, oh yeah, we heard that one before. So I just want to say thank you for the good spirit, the good nature, to continue to advocate and push forward for something like this. It takes persistence to get things done, and finally this investment is happening, and I hope it brings safety, it brings security, it brings positivity to the community. Let's keep working together to build up Manitoba, this province that we love so much. Miigwech, thank you.
Thank you so much, Premier Canoe. And once again, I'll thank you on behalf of the community here. But sincerely, this is, I think the number now is what, 40 years we were waiting? 40? Yeah, we're at 41 now. Okay. So 41 years of waiting for this to happen. It's a big day for our community here. But I also want to thank Mayor Gillingham for being a partner with us on this. Just briefly, Mayor Gillingham and I were talking about the last time we were gathered here for an event like this. It was for the grand opening of the extension of the Sikh Society of Manitoba, when the mayor was still deciding whether this was a route for him. And what a long ways we've come, and it's a testament to the growth in our community. So thank you, Mayor Gillingham. I'd like to welcome you up to the stage as well.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much, JD. Also for the land acknowledgement, thank you to the priest for the opening prayer. There you are. Thank you very much. And Premier Canoe, thank you so much to you and your government for your investment, because the Premier did lay it out correctly. We as a city partner with the province of Manitoba, and specific to Mollard Road, the primary, obviously, source of funding is the province of Manitoba, fulfilling a campaign commitment. It was also a campaign commitment of mine, as JD indicated, when I did meet here during the campaign, and in fact before, when I was still a city councillor, was able to meet and hear the concerns and the priorities of this, the great community here, the Sikh Society of Manitoba, and I've had the privilege of seeing the school and attending the Gurdwara before. So thank you so much again for being such great hosts. I too want to acknowledge the ministers from the provincial government who are here, and Mr. Brar, President of Sikh Society of Manitoba, and the entire board, and everyone for your ongoing advocacy for really the decades, as you've heard, to get this project done. It is wonderful to be celebrating the completion of Mollard Road. I also want to recognize the people who built it, Bayview Construction and the consultant engineer and the City of Winnipeg staff and others who really were the ones who have constructed this road. It is smooth. It might be the smoothest road in Winnipeg right now. And just that's right. That's right. So just as JD had said, just over 4 years ago, the Sikh Society of Manitoba opened this beautiful expanded building. It was in August of 2021, and Councillor Sharma and I were here. Councillor Sharma wanted to be here today. She sends her regrets. She's responsible right now at the same time for chairing another meeting. She's the chairwoman of a meeting that she could not get out of. I want to thank and acknowledge her today for her advocacy, because as a city councillor, she has continually brought to me and as mayor and our fellow councillors the importance of this project as well. And every time I've had the chance over the last 4 to 5 years to visit this community, I hear the same thing. It is that the road needs to be upgraded. And as the Premier said, it's not just to make it nice and smooth, but it is to make it safer as well. A lot of the folks here have many times in the springtime when the road is soft, or after a heavy rain when the road was soft before it was paved. At times it was almost unpassable, and frankly was dangerous at times as well. So this is an important infrastructure investment to make it safer and better for all who are here. And when this community established the school and ultimately the Gurdwara, first of all here, you wouldn't see all these homes. And so the community around has grown so much as Winnipeg continues to grow and expand. And so we see that there are more and more community members who come worship here, go to school here, gather here for social reasons, and who live just not too far away. And so really what's happened is, because of the visionaries of the Sikh Society of Manitoba and the Sikh community, you've established a presence here, and the city is really growing out towards you, and West St. Paul, neighboring municipalities are also growing this way. So this is an excellent example today of what can be achieved as we continue to work together. Community members, the province of Manitoba, the City of Winnipeg, and so once again, Mr. Premier, thank you to you and your government and to this community for your shared investment and for the opportunity for us to partner together to make a better, stronger Winnipeg. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Gillingham, for those very kind words. I'll invite up next the MLA for Maples, Minister Mintu Sandhu.
Well, good morning, everyone. Very happy to be here. Honorable Premier, Mr. Mayor, and esteemed guest, welcome to the Maples. What a week. We had a big week on Saturday where we announced $100,000 for Punjab flood relief. We announced MJA to protect and Manitoba jobs. And soon we'll be issuing a tender for the new schools. And one of those schools is going to JD's area in the West St. Paul. And now here at this announcement of paving the Mollard Road. This is a wonderful, wonderful sea. You know, I want to thank the Premier first, because when you make a promise, you deliver on those promises. That's what the Premier did. And I also want to thank JD, because last night I was thinking, okay, so whose role was what? I remember each time the politician comes, I'll probably be, like I wasn't even elected member at that time, we will sit down in the Gurdwara in the hall. They will go have a meeting in the office, and from there, they will come to the hall, and each time, JD's first ask was paving the Mollard Road. So JD, this happened. Congratulations. Well, JD didn't know that time. He had to be the MLA for the McPhilips for that to happen. So once again, thank you. I'm also proud to stand here on behalf of our Minister Smart. Without the funding from municipal and northern relation, it's not possible. So I want to thank Minister Smart as well. And before that, also Minister Ian Bussey, when this all process started. So thank you to Ian Bussey as well. Again, this is very important. This helps folks who are driving to the Gurdwara, also folks who are biking to Gurdwara. Also, if somebody is walking to Gurdwara, right? So those are the important things. So once again, Premier, this is my honor to be part of your team. And this is not an effort of one person. And you probably see MLA Daljit Brar, JD Devgan, Shelsat. We are part of the Northwest team. So we all worked hard on this project. So everyone's shared responsibility was here to, hey, you know what? We made those promises, and we can be delivering on those promises. And we did it. So, and also, another thing was going through my mind. Okay, so after retirement, what you probably thinking what you did during this time? So, even though I brought in a big bill, it's called the Buy Canada Act. I brought in a bill to protect the renters. I'll probably be bringing more bills. But when I retire, I'll probably be sitting with folks of my age, probably 50s, 60s, and playing cards. And if they were to wonder, so what did you do during your minister or as a MLA? So the Mollard Road will be the #1 priority. I'm going to say, hey, you know what? This is what I did. So for that to happen, it had to be done with the collaboration with the city as well. So thank you to Mayor Scott Gillingham. And once again, thank you very much. And, you know, I can't express my, you know, I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and sometimes I get emotional on these occasions. So once again, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister Sandhu, for those words and that deep, heartfelt words. I will say one of the reasons why I was so annoying about Mollard Road before, when politicians would come into the building, was because some of the people behind me would always say, make sure you say Mollard Road. But that again speaks to just the importance and the need for advocacy. If it wasn't for that advocacy, if it wasn't for the community asking for this for those years, I don't know if we'd be here today. So thank you once again to everyone else. I'll invite my colleague Diljit Brar to share a few words as well.
It's a great day. Fateh di Sanj paiye, Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. I googled history of Sikh Society of Manitoba last night. A CBC article pops up. Guess what? The article is written by Jasdeep Devgan in 2019. I was like, I know this guy. And let me tell everyone that Jasdeep Devgan, we call him JD now, MLA for McPhilips, he served as Vice President of Sikh Society of Manitoba for many years, in young age. And this is a live example of youth leadership development in this organization. And that means a lot for our society. Now, the article says the society was incorporated in 1969. 1969, friends. I was minus 6 years old at that time. I don't think we had even 69 Sikh Manitobans here then. I want to say thank you to you all for that initiative. And it made me proud of my elders, my seniors, who could envision that we are witnessing today. They could see and imagine how important this organization is for the members of Sikh community. मैं अपने सारे बुजुर्गां दा मातावां दा सत्कार करदा धन्नवाद करदा कदर करदा जिन्हां ने इस संस्था दा संस्थापन कीता. So in context, respect for elders in indigenous and Punjabi culture is exactly same. For example, Sardar Harban Singh Brad Uncle ji, if he tells me now go serve tea, go clean up, I would run and do what he said. And that's what happens in indigenous communities. You can attest to that, Premier. That once happened to you too. So when elders say go and do this, that means something in our communities. So let's maintain that respect for the elders who paved the way for us. And the government paved Mollard Road for them. Another thing I want to share here is Sikh Society of Manitoba has created an example of women leadership in Sikh community by electing my sister Raj Kaur Brad as the first woman president of this organization. That is a great, great milestone. And that lifts up our daughters and sisters for future leadership roles. What does Gurdwara mean to a Sikh? I want to share that. To my non-Sikh friends, I want to say that Gurdwara means the door to Guru. Gurdwara is not just a religious place. It's also a community center, it's a school, it's a library, it's a grieving place, it's a celebration of birth, marriage, and other important occasions. Last but not least, it's also a symbol of our political power. My dear friends, infrastructure, human resources, financial resources, and other resources are a vehicle our vision rides on. And it's very important to provide support, to provide these resources. This road is a great infrastructure that leads to Sikh Society of Manitoba and further. When I say further, I don't mean to say Route 90. I mean to say this road leads to prosperity, inclusion, social justice, youth leadership development, social service, and spiritual growth of Manitobans. I want to say thank you, Premier Canoe, Brother Jasdeep Devgan, MLA Rochelle Shott, and Minister Mintu Sandhubaiji for your leadership and advocacy for this project and beyond. I'm proud to be part of the government that cares about Manitoba and the great people of Manitoba from all walks of life. I also want to thank Mayor Gillingham and his team for your hard work to make this happen. Shukriya, Tanwad, thank you, and Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you so much, MLA Brar, for those kind words. Just, I don't want to prolong this press conference any longer, but just to pull the curtain back, I didn't ask to be on the committee. I was voluntold to be on the committee. I didn't know what I was getting signed up for, but Uncle Ji, Sukhdev Brar, told me that this is what I'm going to be entering into. And it was at that time where the Constitution was changed at the Sikh Society of Manitoba to allow for 2 student members to be involved in the board of directors at the Sikh Society of Manitoba as a means of getting youth involved. And I can tell you today, we've got some of those youth here. They're standing somewhere in the crowd. But we've continued that practice at the Sikh Society of Manitoba, and that is incredibly important. But next, I'd like to invite the person who I started my journey on the committee with. And we have a lot of good memories from that time. And a lot of ups and downs, but what a journey it's been. But I'm very happy to be standing here with you today in this milestone. Please welcome Harbant Singh Brar, President of Sikh Society of Manitoba.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Today is the historic day for Sikh Society of Manitoba because September 19, which is tomorrow, 1969, 56 years ago, this corporation was a register when in Manitoba only 9 Sikh families were living, and 7 of them registered the name of the Sikh Society of Manitoba. And where we are today, right after 56 years, one day less, or 56 years, we are celebrating the road opening. Thank you very much for your kind word, Mayor Scott Gillingham. Our Premier, Bob Canoe, Daljeet Brar, Mintu Sandhu, and Jasdeep Devgan, rookie MLA in Manitoba. And he is the baby of the Sikh Society of Manitoba because that's what he started his life from. Well, I have no note written. Whatever I will speak from my heart. Today is as I said, today is the historic day because 2 big men with big heart, Mayor Gillingham and son of the Canadian soil, are here, who did what we asked for last 40 years. This building behind me, the Sikh Society of Gurdwara, that opened at this place June the 6th, 1984, which is 41 years. In that 41 years, I have been president for 5 times. This is my 5th term. And how many ministers and how many premiers and MPs and other folks we ask to pave this road, I don't remember the numbers. But this time, you know, most of us were tired to ask people and have no beliefs on anyone. But, you know, I think this is they're really lucky for us, and this time it's our dream came true. That Bob Canoe and Gillingham did the work who can do it. So thank you for your kind, and thank you for your kind word and everything you did. And I am not speaking on behalf of only myself, I'm speaking on behalf of the Sikh Society of Manitoba, for whole the Sikhs in Manitoba. We proud to be live in Canada, we proud to be live in Manitoba, we proud to be live in Winnipeg. Whatever the achievements the Sikh nation have in Manitoba, not anywhere else in the world, in any country or any province. Just briefly, our flag rise on every Vaisakhi day, April the 13th. The person wear the turban don't have to be wear helmet driving motorcycle. And our 5Ks with the government of Manitoba in 1999, you know, recognition of those 5Ks. And also the human remains we can put anywhere in the water in Manitoba. And our Nagar Kirtan. Our Nagar Kirtan is registered in the 4 big parade in Manitoba. What else we want? We get everything we ask the government of Manitoba or the City of Winnipeg. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you very much. And, you know, we are so proud. We're so proud we live here. And, you know, this is our home. And we will respect everyone. The one thing I want to say, right now, we have 500 kids in our school. 500 kids. And you will see next 10 years, When those 500 boys killed the girls, that boys will be on the road in the turbans and the Sikh faith and everything. Because we teach them not to be drugged, not to be lie, not to be, you know, all those Sikh faith stuff. So we are training, we are creating, you know, the good people, the good nations, the good habits and everything. So that's what we do. But whatever you guys did for us, we will never forget. And thank you very much. So I'm at the end of, I'm going to say, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Good words.
Thank you so much, Harbans Uncle Ji. I want to thank everybody sincerely from the bottom of my heart for being here today, for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join in the celebration. That concludes the formal part of our press conference here. I've been asked to remind everyone that there's some leftover tea and samosas, so hospitality.
Yeah, okay. We want honor to our mayor and our premier, please. Just give just 1 second. He's bringing. And also. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Can we do that right after? Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Okay, the floor is now open to questions.
I have a question for the premier, please.
Yeah.
There is confirmation now that some of the first 4,000 homes under the Build Canada Homes Agency are planned for Manitoba. So I'm wondering if you've spoken to the federal government about this and you know how many homes are going to be built here.
You know, anything we can do to expand housing in Manitoba is great news. We got a growing economy, and this one cuts both ways that I'm about to say. The real estate market here is very hot, which is good news for the economy. Not so good news if you're trying to buy a house right now, right? We got definitely a seller's market. So let's keep building our economy and let's make sure that we're adding housing. If we can work together with the new federal government to expand housing in Manitoba, that's great news. But yeah, we're going to keep working with them on this announcement.
And do you know how many homes that's going to bring specifically to Nawaia, Dena, and then other places?
Yeah, I'm guessing Prime Minister Carney wants to stand at an event like this one and announce the specifics of his plan, just like we're announcing Mollard Road here today.
And should Manitoba get a per capita share of that housing?
I think for Manitoba, we're always looking at need. And, you know, beautiful new road as you drive to get here. How many houses do you see going up? There's a ton. We're doing a ton of housing in Manitoba these days, so the need is huge. And if the federal government can help add according to need, I think that's really going to help Manitoba's economy grow, but also keep things affordable for the future homeowner.
There were some references to walking and biking. Are those paths still going in? I don't see them here. Is that work still being done?
Yeah, no, that's part of the plan.
And where will they go?
We got details on, should we get an engineer out here to, we can follow up with some of the specific plans.
So it's not quite finished yet, still some work to do.
Yeah, I'm going to resist making a joke about the media and say, let's focus on the positive. Beautiful road here, very smooth. Yeah. That's the news of the day.
I wanted to get your comments on another topic. The Winnipeg Construction Association and Construction Association of Rural Manitoba want to know why they weren't consulted about the new Manitoba Jobs Agreement. Just your comments on that. Will they be included at some point?
Well, we consulted the people of Manitoba. We ran on this. This is the first press conference we had in the last election, I think, was talking about Manitoba jobs for Manitobans. If your tax dollars are going to go out the door to invest in a new school, we're building 4 new schools, one in West St. Paul, one in southwest Winnipeg, one in Transcona near the Costco, and another one in Brandon, southwest side of Brandon. When your tax dollars go out the door to build something like that, shouldn't we hire local companies? Shouldn't we hire local people to build these? Shouldn't we train Manitobans to get a trade, a red seal? So we've been consulting extensively on this project for years, and we're always going to be there to listen. So we're very proud of the Manitoba Jobs Agreement because it was born out of consultation, and it's us delivering on a promise that we made to the people of Manitoba. Yeah, everyone deserves to be safe in Manitoba, and keeping people safe is one of our primary responsibilities in government. That's why we've added dozens of police officers since we came into office. That's why we've started the process of building a new jail facility in Dauphin. And there's so much work that we need to do. We've strengthened bail direction for Crown attorneys, and we'll continue to work with the City of Winnipeg on that. We're working with the federal government as well, because they have an important role to play. And if somebody out there is committing crimes, dealing with addictions, we are putting the steps in place for you to turn your life around. But if you refuse to turn your life onto a good path, then you will be arrested, you will be held accountable, and you will be put in jail. It's as simple as that.
More First Nations are banning non-Indigenous hunters from their traditional lands, most recently Sikh. They've signed saying no hunting or fishing. What, if anything, is the province doing about that?
I don't know if that's accurate. Can a First Nation ban somebody?
If they put up signs, maybe there's notice, and maybe people think they can. Are you saying they can't?
I don't know if they can.
Telling them they can?
It sounds like you're trying to put words in my mouth, so I'm going to be very, very cautious of what I say. I don't know if that's accurate. So, can I just, and this will be up to you if you want to respect this, but can I just say that what I'm about to say is what the quote will be, and anything else won't be attributed to me as being like a voice of the government? You know, sometimes like I get asked a yes or no question, and if I say yes or no, then that's the headline of the story. And then it was like the journalist's idea that's being attributed to me. Anyway, whatever. You can do what you want with that. But what I will say is this. Our minister has been there in the community twice in the past week to work with Bloodvein to find a path forward so that everyone in Manitoba can hunt. The moose is something, it's a resource for all Manitobans. That's the position of our government. And we have treaties in Manitoba. Treaties are about sharing. We want to make sure that there can be sharing. So that is what I have to say on the matter. Nothing else.
Okay, I mean, I have one more from another colleague.
You can definitely ask other questions. I'm just saying, like, I don't want this to be mischaracterized, is all I ask, respectfully.
I will pass on the entire recording for sure. I'm not sure what you're getting at, but you can clarify with me later.
It's a general comment about media reporting in 2025.
As a former.
Yeah, as a former journalist, for sure.
But the other question I was going to ask you is also on behalf of a colleague.
They're all welcome to come here. This is great news. We're here with all the people. Tell the journalists to come down. Ask the questions in person. You want to have the reporting, come down in person.
I'm here in person.
You are.
Yeah, and that's what I'm asking.
A great welcome to your colleagues. If you want to get out of the office, come see where the news is happening. Come down. Drive on the new road. Meet the wonderful people in this area. And then, yes, you're free to ask anything you want. Anyway, I'm having fun at your expense and the expense of your colleagues.
And I'm going to ask the question.
Yes.
Ms.
Ms. Polistic, Grand Rapids.
I was trying to say it slowly, but thank you.
Yeah.
Has filed a lawsuit against the province over the issuing of moose licenses in game hunting areas where its members traditionally hunt. What is the province doing to address that and satisfy both First Nation government hunters and non-Indigenous hunters?
After all that build-up, you're going to find this very disappointing. It's before the courts. Can't comment on it.
I have a question for Mayor.
Okay, I got one more thing. So I'll jump back up here after the mayor. Please? It's going to take a while. Just kidding.
There's a serious car accident outside of the car on Monday night on Edward Streets. Some are calling for more safety measures in that area, crosswalk potentially, and change the speed limit. Is the city going to consider some of those safety measures after what happened?
We'll certainly take a look at that incident in that location. When I campaigned actually for mayor, one of the things I committed to was establishing a road safety investment, and we've been doing that. So we have a road safety fund, in essence, that we are prioritizing specific intersections and roadways within the city of Winnipeg where we can make improvements. And so certainly, sincerely, my thoughts are with all those affected. Sincerely, I mean that. Those are not just trite words. And so we'll take a look at this and see if this will be a space and a place that would warrant an investment in road safety fund.
Is the speed limit here 60 kilometers per hour?
On this road, I'm not sure. I will check for sure. So, okay. Anything else? Yes.
So, regarding safety, I requested so many times to the City of Winnipeg. Even I also tweet you and our Devi Sharma. We need a crosswalk sign like on pedestrian crosswalk sign on Templeton and close to the Emergate area. But it's still, my complaint is still open from 2022. Yesterday I called to City of Winnipeg, 311. They told me your complaint will be maybe considered up to 26 March.
So, okay, so you've passed that on. You've spoken to Councillor Sharma about that?
Yeah.
Okay, I can follow up with her just to see where things are at. So,
And one thing, everyone knows there is a big accident happened on King Edward.
yes, we're just asking about that. Yeah, so we'll.
There is no pedestrian sidewalk and there is no pedestrian lights.
Yeah, so I would answer you the same answer that I just gave before. We do have a road safety fund that we invest in. We look at specific sites within Winnipeg, intersections and roadways where we can enhance the safety by investing in infrastructure. And so we're doing that. And you heard the Premier and me both say, specific to Mollard, part of the reason to upgrade Mollard Road to a paved road is that with asphalt surface is for safety. It makes this roadway safer as well. So we are making those investments across the city of Winnipeg, and if there's specific locations and sites, then we'll certainly do that. Okay? Thank you.
Why so much days for the only sign board? We don't want to say anytime we need the lights over there.
Yeah, well, like I said, I can follow up with Councillor Sharma if you've made the specific request to the councillor, then I can follow up with her to get the details of that. Thank you.
I have another one for the Premier if you want.
Okay. At this point then, I'm actually, excuse me, I've got to head off to another event, so I'm going to excuse myself. Thank you all, and thank you, Mr. Premier.
Yeah, absolutely.
They want to do some recognition. Is it all right if we interject now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry, just not to interrupt your questions here. The Sikh Society wants to recognize the mayor and the premier before they leave, so if we can just hold your questions. Sat Shri Akal. Thank you. Thank you so much. The stage is yours.
So are we gonna do the other one now?
We'll do that after.
You should get it with him. Hey Scott, can you
Mayor?
got one more second.
One more. Kar lo. Huਣੇ ਕਰ ਲਓ. Premier ਦੇ ਵੀ ਕਰੋ.
फोटो तो आगे आ जाएगा
बोले सोनेहा
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Bear. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Didn't want to divide the thing. Yeah, we got one more question.
So the College of Physicians and Surgeons annual report came out. It showed Manitoba's added more than 100 net new physicians for the second year in a row.
What was the exact number? I think it's like well over 100. The 146 or something like that. Yeah. Okay.
What impact will these doctors have for healthcare in the province?
We were elected to fix healthcare. The first part of fixing healthcare means getting more people working at the bedside with you. Today, you got confirmation that there's more doctors working at the bedside. You got more than 1,000 nurses working at the bedside, 3,000 more healthcare workers across all the different fields. A lot more work to do in healthcare. A lot more work at Seven Oaks, New Victoria Emergency Room. But the first thing that we got to do before any of these new facilities open, we got to have the staff. Today, you're seeing proof that the plan is moving ahead to fix healthcare. The final piece that I wanted to talk about today is to tell the people of Manitoba that we have intervened at the Supreme Court of Canada against the Quebec government's Bill 21. Bill 21 is a law that Quebec brought into place that would prevent a Sikh person from wearing a turban, that would prevent a Christian from wearing a cross or a crucifix, that would prevent any number of the cultures that were a Muslim wearing a hijab, a Hutterite person wearing a head covering, and on down the list. Quebec's Bill 21 would prevent people from wearing visible symbols of their religious faith in public, and Manitoba has intervened in that case at the Supreme Court to protect our province's interests. What we are arguing specifically at the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court will say that there is a notwithstanding clause in the Canadian Constitution, which means that Quebec can use the notwithstanding clause to shield this piece of legislation. We are arguing that even though the notwithstanding clause of the Canadian Constitution is being used, that courts across Canada should still be able to review laws like Quebec's Bill 21 so that they can rule if, outside the use of notwithstanding clause, whether that would be constitutional or not. In this case, what we're saying is that even though Quebec is using the notwithstanding clause, a court should still be allowed to decide whether a government should be able to ban a Sikh person from wearing a turban, or whether a government should be allowed to ban a Christian wearing a cross or a crucifix. And while that court might not be able to strike down the law, the court should still make the ruling so that the people at the next election can decide what they think of the government that did that. This is an argument on behalf of the people of Manitoba that we're making at the Supreme Court because we know that freedom of religion is so important to Manitobans, that we know that civil liberties are so important to Manitobans. And we know that most important of all is democracy. And so what we're saying is that there needs to be a dialogue between the different branches of government. There needs to be a dialogue between the people who pass the laws and the judges who adjudicate the laws. And what we're arguing in our intervention at the Supreme Court of Canada is to put the power back in your hands, where it belongs. When you go to vote in the election, you should know if the expert judges believe that outside of the notwithstanding clause, the actions of your government should be considered constitutional or not. I know there's many people here today, many people in many faith communities, many people in the Christian community, the Muslim community, the Indigenous community, who are very, very interested in seeing us stand up for what's right and to stand up on the question of Quebec's Bill 21. And I'm here to tell you that we are intervening, we're standing up for Manitobans, but most importantly, we're standing up for democracy. Thank you so much for your patience. I know there was a lot of questions and answers that we had to see today. Yes.
I just want to ask one question.
Yeah, perfect.
In front of the press. Right now, the community is facing some problems regarding transnational depressions. Community people are getting calls from across the border, extortion calls,
Yes.
threat calls.
Yeah.
People are getting influenced. If there's a Gurdwara politics, if there's a state politics, if there's a neighborhood politics. So you must have heard about the other provinces, like the bill was passed in BC, probably in Alberta and Ontario, and they pressed Prime Minister Carney to ban those sort of groups which are directly interfering into Canadian politics, Canadian society, making calls. So my question is like, would you pass any resolution into the Assembly to press Mark Carney to ban those groups which are directly interfering and influencing Canadian law society people?
Extortion is wrong and it is illegal. and anyone who's practicing extortion should be investigated and should be held accountable. Interfering in our democracy here in Canada is also wrong, and it is not acceptable. And we need to prevent foreign interference in all of our elections here in Manitoba, in Canada, and at every level, including municipal politics. So absolutely, if this is something that the community wants to bring forward and identify, work on, we can work with you on that.
Wonderful. Okay, well, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm just going to remind everyone we're going to do a group photo, and then there's tea and samosas fill up. There's a lot left over. So if we can...
Yes. Will this podium awake?